Let's come together. Women and wealth creation. Let's come together. Women and wealth creation. Let's come together. It's been hot since Thursday. Tonight we're having the last part of this first session, and then we'll do another 5 days. From the 26th to the 30th. So let's wrap up Women and Wealth Creation. Let's spread the word around and let's get ready for tonight. Going to be having two amazing Amazons joining me tonight. Okay, hello everyone. How are you doing tonight? I'm Olumide Emmanuel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are on the globe. Welcome to How to Create Wealth. Oh no, that's the next one. Welcome to Women and Wealth Creation. And we're also going to be discussing how to create wealth as a career person. That's the software that is running now. So we'll be looking at Women and Wealth Creation since Thursday. We've had amazing Amazons join me. Thursday night was something else. Yesterday was just another double dose. So if you were not with us on Thursday and you were not with us yesterday, I will advise that you go to IGTV now. I saved the video on Thursday night and I saved the one for yesterday also. And then you can also go to my YouTube channel and get them so that you can listen to them. So tonight, I'm going to be having two amazing Amazons join me. I'm going to be having Damilola Hassan, who's going to be joining me. And then I'm going to be having Binta Max-Gbinije. And it's going to be an amazing discussion. So why are we doing what we are doing? Well, I've released a new book. It's called How to Create Wealth as a Career Person. How to Create Wealth as a Career Person. The Intrapreneur's guide to the worldly place, the intrapreneur's guide to the worldly place. A lot of people have continually pushed the narrative that in order for you to create wealth, you need to be an entrepreneur. But that's not the complete story, because there are so many people that love their career. They want to be able to continue to build their career as career professionals, and they also want to create wealth. So I needed to bring in that balance and push this to the front line, that there are portals of wealth creation, and the career portal is also one of the portals of wealth creation, and then show people how they can create wealth as a career person. And one of the things I've done, which is unique to this particular book, is that for the first time in my writing career, over 34 years now, I have brought in other people to join me. So this is like one book with 17 authors. One book with 17 authors. So I'm the main author, and then I've gotten contribution from career professionals that are on the journey to the world place, sharing in their own words some of the things that will help you to also do the same. And two of them will be joining me tonight. They are part of the people that contributed to the book, and they are both women, because my focus this time around is women and wealth creation. So by the 26th of this month, from 26th to the 30th for 5 days, I'm now going to have another series where we'll focus on the book. So one of the reasons why we're doing this is because of the new book. Number two is because there are so many events that we have lined up that will be coming up within the next 60 days. And you need to prepare yourself for those events so that you can take part in them. Number one, we have the Global School of Money Summit. The Global School of Money Summit is coming up on Wednesday the 3rd. Wednesday the 3rd of January at Railboat Multipurpose Hall in Idimu from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for 4 hours. I'm going to take you on 3 sessions. And we're going to be having the global official launch of this book. So we needed to do this so that we can push this out, and as many people as will be able to make it should find their way down to that event. It's absolutely free. So you have the phone numbers and the website pinned down there. You can pre-order, you can call, and then you find your way to that venue. Number two, from Monday the 22nd to Saturday the 27th of January, we're also going to be hosting the Entrepreneurship Academy. We want to train 1,000 entrepreneurs for the new year 2024 to help equip and position them to be the best version of themselves. And that's why we're doing this now. That event is for 1 full week, Monday to Saturday, 6 days. And we're having amazing facilitators, world-class curriculum. And instead of paying somewhere in the region of 350, 400,000, we have decided we will have done it free, but say, look, we need to be sure that we have serious-minded people, so we have just made it 15,000 naira. Think about it in this economy, 15,000 naira for 1 week. That is 15,000 naira. You get refreshment every day, you get materials, you get all kinds. So it's not about the money. For this one, we just want to ensure that we do the free event on the 3rd. We do this 1 week Entrepreneurship Academy to train people, and then the 3rd one is the Billionaires Conclave Annual Summit. So the Conclave Summit is coming up on Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd of March at the Marriott Hotel in the GRA area of Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. And for that one, it's $2,000. $2,000 for the 2 days event. And right now, there's a 50% discount going on. And with the 50% discount, you just pay $1,000 if you pay between now and the 10th of January. And our exchange rate is 900 naira. So it's 900 naira to $1. That's our own exchange rate for those that want to do anything with us for now. So take advantage of all these opportunities. And then we want to learn from the women. So let's see if they are here so that I can bring them on board. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's bring in. Make sure you have a note and you have a pen, because when they begin to talk, since we begin to drop, oh, these are powerful women with powerful information. Oh. Hello, hello. You need to sit one more turning. You are all right now. We need to turn like it. I thought one more turning. Yeah, we got it. Hey.
Good evening, Dr. Emmanuel. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, MG. Good evening, Doctor, sir.
Only me in the midst of all these wonderful women.
Bless
Hey!
you, women.
Financial gurus are here. Even me, I need to take note and begin to learn now. So, how are you both doing today?
I'm super great. Thank you for asking, sir. You, how you doing?
Sir.
Okay, so welcome. So, we've been having an amazing time since Thursday night. And tonight is the last session for this particular. So what I decided to do in these 3 days is just to do women and wealth creation. And then from the 26th, we'll now focus more on the book. But since 2 of you are in the book, we're going to try and start talking about the book from tonight. But let's start with introduction. So Binta, I will start with you. I want you to introduce yourself. Who are you? What have you done? What are you doing? So that they will know the powerful woman that is on this broadcast now. So, and then we'll go to Dami, and then you tell us who you are, what you do. So, Binta, over to you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Emmanuel. And first off, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to be here. And thank you as well for the privilege to be a part of the book. Just writing the little that I did, reminded me of so much, and I owe that to you. Truly an honor and a privilege. What have I done? And maybe I should start with where I know Damilola from. And that's a fun fact that I'm sure you didn't even know, Dr. Emmanuel, that we know each other and that Damilola is my sister. We met in the trustee industry, correct? And when I saw that paired us, I was like, okay, this is deep calling to deep, right?
I didn't know that, though.
You didn't even know that. You were led by the Spirit. So it's an honor and privilege to be doing this with Damilola. My name is Binta Max-Gbinije, for those who are just joining in, and I've been in financial services for the last 35 years or so. 32 of that was in formal employment. I worked in 5 different banks. I had a stint as an insurance broker for a short while as well. And then afterwards, I was in banking. My last role in banking was Stanbic IBTC, where I was for almost 15 years. I served in different roles and capacities. I had the privilege of starting and heading up Stanbic IBTC Trustees, which remains the foremost trustee company in Nigeria today. And then on the back of that, I was moved back to the bank proper because Stanbic IBTC is a group, and I was in the bank proper, and I was there until end of 2019 when I left. I now currently run a boutique consulting firm. I live in Abuja. I work out of Abuja, even though I have an office in Lagos as well. And but I'm still in financial services, and so now I apply my trade in consulting and financial advisory, leveraging on what I've learned in the last couple of years. Who am I? That's Binta's career profile, if you like. But there are many other sides to me, and it was in the course of this that I got to meet you, Dr. Emmanuel, and an honor and a privilege to know you. So I think I'll stop there so I don't hog the microphone too long.
So, Dami, who are that?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Emmanuel, and my big sis, BMG. It's a privilege sharing a platform with you. I'll share one fun fact about me and BMG, which she probably doesn't know by the time I end my introductions. So I'm a financial planner. I didn't start out as in financial services, but I morphed into financial services after about 4 years into got policy advocacy and negotiations and all. I morphed into financial services, and I put a bit of that detail in the book, how the pivoting happened. So, but in the financial services space, I have over 17 years experience in investment advisory, asset management. But in recent times, my focus has been on generational wealth advisory. So I focus largely on 3-pronged areas of generational wealth, which is the creation of the wealth, the preservation of generational wealth, and ultimately the transfer of this wealth from one generation to the other. So that's my focus. And I've been doing all of this in the last 17 years. On the side too, I'm a family finance coach. I'm a marriage counselor. I love to deploy the knowledge that I have, to and hold people, like my mentor, Dr. Olumide, would always say, experience is key, but it does not have to be your own experience. So I always love to leverage the experience that I have built to help people who are just coming up, to find the right footing and early enough. So I love to do that. And a fun fact, so when I got my appointment as managing director of Maritime Trustees, usually that role is for lawyers, and I am not a lawyer, and I started asking myself, can I actually do this? So I went online and I started to check out people who had gone before me in this industry, and BMG's profile stood out. So I sat down, read her profile like a textbook.
Oh my
Honestly,
God.
I read it. I looked at everything she had done. And I loved her from that profile. And I started following her. She didn't know. So I stumbled on her at an event, at a Wimpy's event. And I just walked up to her. This was me rehearsing, hey, I'm going to meet my secret mentor, somebody I've admired from afar. And then I walked up to her, I said, my name is Damilola Hassan. And she screamed, she said, oh, you are Damilola. I've been looking forward to meeting you. So, I mean, it's been wonderful. And thank you for having me on this platform. Thank you also for inviting me to contribute to the book. I had a great time writing. Thank you.
You guys will be shocked when you see the book. One thing that will shock all of you is that almost everybody knows who is in the book until this last 1 week.
Wow.
And guess what? All of you were saying the same thing.
Wow, look at that.
I'm telling you, you will see this. I'm like, wow, is it that? It's as if everybody sat down in one room. They now started copying each other. I'm telling you, just to show you that principles are universal.
That's right.
They are universal, but it's the application that is contextual, personal, and geographical. So you see the same common thread amongst everybody. You see, it's just amazing. In fact, I'm like, wow, this book is massive. So you don't worry. Once this is just the first dummy copy, we are in print now, and it should be ready sometime next week.
Awesome.
And then I will send your copies to you guys, and then we can push it to the world and change our world. So, Binta, let me start with you again. The same question. Women and wealth creation. I have said it over and over again. Wealth is not sexually transmitted. Marriage is not economic empowerment. Your children are not a retirement plan. In Africa today, I've asked all the women, many of us grew up in families where nobody sat us down to teach us about money. And yet they expect us to make the money. So for you, what was your upbringing like financially? Did your parents teach you about money? So how did you come into a place where you understood money? Because there are even people that are inside financial services that still don't understand money. I remember this very funny, years ago, when we started our real estate project in the early 2001, there's a bank manager, some people in the bank bought from me. So a bank manager bought 3 plots of land from us, somewhere around 2002. Fast forward to like 2007, maybe about 5-6 years later, the guy calls me and say, Pastor, how are you? I say, fine. I say, that's our land. How far? I say, it's there, that the land has appreciated now. So he bought the land then for 200,000 in 2002. And this is now 2007 or 2000, yeah. And the land is now 1 million. And this guy calls me and say, hey, how much is the land now? I say, this is about 1 million. I say, hey, 1 million. So that 3 plots now will be like 3 million. I say, it's good, that's good, that I want to sell the land though. I say, what's the problem? That he said, because my rent is due. I said, what did you say? He said, my rent is due. I said, so you want to sell land to pay rent? I didn't know when they came out of that you must be a fool. I said it. I did. The guy said, "Excuse me, sir, what did you say?" I said, "Oh, sorry, I don't talk if I remember saying this guy don't be my, you don't be my network." I said, "You must be a fool." I'm like, you want to sell plot of land to go and rent apartment, and this guy is a bank manager. So if a bank manager has that kind of brain, question what did they do? So how did you get to know about finances? Talk to us about your journey. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You asked if my parents were financially savvy and whether they taught me. Short answer, no. My father was a civil servant. He used to work with the, those grains commodity boards they had in those days. And, he moved from town to town, never taught me anything about money. My mom was an accountant and, she did great at her job, but I don't recall that she taught me about money as well. So how did I become financially savvy or even come into the world of finance? You know that word where they say coincidence? I like to call it God incidence, okay? So it was a God incidence that saw me serving at the then IMB. You remember International Merchant Bank? It was, opposite the Bar Beach and
Babbage
that
without
that wonderful
like a
building.
cube.
Correct. It's now #1. I think Access and some restaurants are there now. So that was where I got the privilege to serve. I graduated school at 19 and then came down to Lagos. And by, like I said, God incidents, I was posted to serve in IMB. It was my first job. I had never done a vacation job. I had not interned all through those years. And it was my first job and it was to serve. And that's how I came to love banking. So I served in IMB, did well by the grace of God, got retained and stayed there for a couple of years. And then afterwards moved on to other banks. And that's what started and kindled my love for the world of finance. And so moved from bank to bank, was in retail banking, was in commercial banking, was in the trustee, sector, just moved around quite a bit and then climbed up the ladder that way. But I knew that a grasp of finance was critical. And to the point you've made about there are people who are even in banking today who don't even understand a lot of things. And it's an indictment on us or those who are in banking who don't have that cutting edge knowledge or who can transfer it to help other people. And for those of us who are in the industry or in the financial services sector, there's an onus on us. We have an obligation to be able to teach our children, even if our parents didn't teach us. Like you said, it's not transferred, because you are in the family or because you are married to someone who's loaded. You've got to be intentional about acquiring that knowledge. You've got to know what works for you. You've got to have a plan for your life. So it starts with that wealthy mindset, that will take you to that place. If you desire financial freedom sometime or at some point in your life, then you must ask those questions. How do I get money? How do I keep this money? How do I grow this money? So you must articulate that financial vision for your life. You must have clear goals. I don't know about you, Dr. Emmanuel, but I want to be able to travel business class and maybe first class, as often as I can without sweating it too much. The people who travel this business class and first class, one, Lori Meji, sir. You know what I'm saying? So why can't it be me all the time? I want to be able to have a Louis Vuitton, travel case. My sister has one and I envy her every time. I'm like, I'll put that in my bucket list, okay? And I'll get to it, but right now it's not a priority. But I want to be able to have all of these things without having to sweat, without having to worry. And best of all, I also want to be a kingdom financier because that's what God has called us to. I'm a Christian, and I say that with every sense of responsibility and pride. And I know what the good book says about taking care of people, about giving to kingdom work, about ensuring that you help the poor, the widows, and all of that. I want to be able to do that, to bless the heart of my master and to please my maker. But how will I do it if I don't have the money? So it was first to articulate that vision and say, I have a clear vision for my life. I know I need to have bucketfuls of money. Let me not use the word that came to my mind. Let me be politically correct. I want to have bucketfuls of money so I'll be able to do all of these things that I need to do. Provide for my family. There's a quote that I saw that has stuck in my head ever since. If we can't respect the way we earn it, money has no value. If we can't use it to make life better for our families and our loved ones, money has no purpose. This is a quote by Gregory Roberts, the famous movie Shatter. And he says that, and I totally bought into that. So I want money not for the sake of money or to be known as that rich woman, but I want it for the good I can use it to do. For the comfort, I'm sorry, soft life things, Dr. Emmanuel, is not asking for much. The soft life, good life. So I want that money to be able to have those comforts when I need it without having to sweat. So again, short answer will just be, you determine and be intentional about how to create this wealth, design that plan, know what it is you want to do with it, because some people can even have the ability to make the money, they have the money, but then what are they doing with it? So have that vision, be clear and articulate about the goals and the purpose you will put that wealth to, and then begin to work towards, gathering it, creating it, multiplying it, and then moving on from there. I trust that answers your question, sir.
Yes, it does. It does, and mom. Yeah. So, Dami, who taught you about money? I think daddy and mommy just sat you down and said, you need to save this money. You need to.
Very similar story to BMG. So I didn't get any formal teaching about money. I think what I remember clearly was observing my parents and the values that they exhibited growing up, values of hard work, integrity, hard work pays. My father, so we are 4 girls and a boy. So my father was typically called Baba Girls amongst his friends. And, every now and again, he will tell us that that some people are worried for him that he has largely girls. And, they are wondering why he's putting in so much in terms of, he was a civil servant until he retired, and it didn't have much, but he prioritized our education and all of that. And then people would tell him, "There are girls, why are you doing all of this?" And then he would always come back home with that feedback. He was very intentional about telling us what people were saying and telling us his own expectations from us. And he would say, "I know you guys will make me proud. I'm proud of you." He would always remind us of his own limitations, how money deprived him of attaining certain heights, despite his brilliance and everything. So, and I saw how himself and my mom worked together, to give us that sound academic, background. So those were the things that I could, lean into, but not a formal education on finances. I would say that I more or less stumbled into it. Again, like BMG said, I right from when I was in university, I knew that I didn't like the idea of suffering. Very recently, I was even telling my husband, I said, I remember when I was in uni, I didn't have much, but all those food that they eat on campus, those things they call risky burger, noodles, and all those funny, I never ate those things because to me, it was suffering. So I would rather not buy clothes or do funny things with my money and then eat well. So I never liked the idea of suffering. So I had always known that I had to take care of making money so that I can live the life that I desire, And again, of course, as I got more understanding of who you are in the kingdom, I grew up listening a lot to Bishop Oyedepo. We grew up in Winners Chapel. He would say a lot about prosperity. I loved what he exuded. So all of those things started shaping my mindset about money and finances. So when my very first encounter with anything finances was, I was just looking through the newspaper. I was on my first job at the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, and had met an Ebon somehow in South Africa who, coming back to Nigeria, we stayed in touch, and he had said some things about investment prior to that time. So I saw this initial public offer for a bank in the papers, and I read it up. I liked it. Okay, so I called him and asked him, "Do you know about it?" He said, "Yes, he's about to invest." He educated me, and that was my very first investment. That was in year 2004 or 5, thereabout. And then By the time it was a mentor that sat me down while on my job. So the core of my job at Manufacturers Association was, working with people, interacting, being the go-between between manufacturers and government. So I was doing a lot of liaison, a lot of negotiation. So I exhibited great people skills, communication skills, and then my mentor, the late Mr. Olowo Konde, called me and sat me down and said, have you thought of moving into finances? And then he went on and on. It was novel to me. He explained what it meant and then made some calls, arranged interviews, and I was like, listen, what is, I'm okay where I am and all of that. And then I got so I put in some more details about that in the book as well. And somehow in 2006, I moved to Meristem, and from ground zero. So at the point when I was even moving to start a career in financial services, I felt that I had lost 7 years because I left uni in 1999. I had gone for my master's in medical microbiology. And then I was doing something else. And then 2006, I have to take a decision to start from scratch. It was a bit funny, but then because I had that understanding of the importance of finance, the importance of making money, helping people to also manage their money, there was a lot of that education that he gave me, and I loved what I heard. I decided I would pay the price and build on this career. So that was the beginning of my journey into financial services.
Wow, this is amazing. If you are just joining us, my name is Olumide Emmanuel, and we're looking at women and wealth creation. And we have two amazing Amazons joining me today, Damilola Hassan and Binta Max-Gbinije, and it's been amazing. And there's a book out. It's called How to Create Wealth as a Career Person. And this book is a massive book that will help you as a career person to build wealth. Is the Entrepreneur's Guide to the Wealthy Place. And I have 16 contributors that have contributed to this book, and 2 of them are right here with me tonight. So we have 3 major events that will be coming up within the next 90 days that you need to consider being a part of. Number 1 is the Global School of Money Summit. It's coming up on Wednesday, the 3rd of January, and that will be the global launch of this book. It's absolutely free. When you come, you'll be able to get the book. You can call the numbers on the screen right now or go to the website and pre-order. And anyone that comes and buy the book, then we're going to be having a raffle draw that day. First prize is a plot of land. Second prize, all expense paid trip to Qatar. And then we have 8 other prizes that you're going to win. There's flat screen, there is a washing machine, there is a smartphone, all kinds of stuff. So don't miss it. So that's on the 3rd. And then from Monday the 22nd to Saturday the 27th of January, we are hosting the Entrepreneurship Academy. It began in 2012. We're looking at hosting 1,000 people. We want to equip you, empower you, position you to be able to create wealth and be a part of those that will solve the unemployment situation in our country. And we are asking that everyone will just do a 15,000 naira payment instead of spending about 350. We don't want to make it free because we want to be sure of how many people are coming, and we also want to be sure that you're serious. So, and then we have up to 5 million naira grants that we're going to be offering for SMEs just to help you on your journey, and they're going to be connected to mentors. So if you're interested in that, you need to also contact the numbers. And finally, I run the Billionaires Conclave. It's a network of high net worth individuals, families, and organizations. And every year we host the Conclave Summit. And the next one is coming up. The Conclave Summit 2024 is coming up on Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd of March. And it's $2,000. The venue is the Marriott Hotel, GRA Ikeja. The money covers for the 2 days fully residential, breakfast, lunch, dinner, materials, and all the stuff. Joining me this year, I'm going to be bringing in Tara Feladrote, will be speaking on women and wealth creation. And then Sheon Onigbide will be speaking on wealth creation opportunities in the IT space. because technology is big now and everyone needs to explore that. And then I'm going to be speaking on cracking the global billionaire code for you as an individual, families, and organization. And then we have a 50% discount promo going on right now. So if you pay between now and the 10th of January, you pay just $1,000 instead of $2,000, and our exchange rate is 900 naira to $1. So plug in and plug in fast. As part of pushing for the book to help career people be on board, we have decided to host a 2-day free event during that conclave summit. So in the evening, we're having a Kingdom Wealth Summit, and I'm bringing Joshua Selman. So myself and Joshua Selman will do the 2 days in the evening, and it's absolutely free. But you need to register and you need to get your VIP pass, because the hall can only seat 450 people. I want to be sure that those that are coming into that hall, number one, you are a kingdom person. Number two, you are a serious-minded person that is really interested in creating wealth and making a difference. So if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in giving, you don't believe in the kingdom, this meeting is not for you. So that's why we changed it to Kingdom Wealth. So for kingdom-minded people, so go and register. We're going to screen you, and then if you qualify, we'll send you your VIP invite, and then you join myself and Joshua Selman 1st of March and 2nd of March. So all the information you need, just call those numbers, and that event will also be pushing this book. So now let's talk. Two things are becoming a norm right now, and I want to hear your take on this as women. Number one, we have a lot of women that have been brought up to believe that the man should take care of all the responsibilities. You are a man, so that is your responsibility, take care of everything. And even when they have money, they are not ready to help the man. Your money is our money. My money is my money.
It's my money.
And then they are not ready. And when the man says, look, I need support, it's okay, I will borrow you. They now want to borrow the man. I say, you are owing me. And I'm like, okay. So, and a lot of men now, they are dying under this heavy load. A lot of men, they are high blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, confusion, depression, all kinds of problems, because the load is too much on the men. And that is now a major issue. That is one class that people are going through. Then we also have another group where the women are empowered and the man is not as empowered as the woman. So you have a lot of women now that are doing amazingly well. They are making more money than their husband. And then it's becoming the problem because most of the men were brought up to believe that their manhood is connected to money and bedroom. So now that the woman is richer than them, ego becomes a problem. And then a lot of men are feeling insecure. They are destroying their marriages. And you see a lot of them that have relocated abroad now. Marriages are crashing like nothing else. Why? Because the women are now getting jobs and the man is realizing that, look, when I thought I was the man because I'm paying rent, now the woman is equally. So I want to have your take on this because we need to bring a balance and we need to help people because the next generation right now, you see a lot of women say, no, if he doesn't have money, I can't marry him. You know, and you are like, okay, my sister, what are you bringing to the table? They say, I am the table. I'm not bringing anything to I'm the table. So you're like, okay, you are the table. Marry yourself then. So, Binta, talk to us.
Oh my God, that's a new one that I am the table. I'm just hearing that for the first time. You're right, Dr. Olumide. It's a sorry state of affairs that we're at this point where there's that disconnect. And I think it has to go back to, you know, the reason why they got married in the first place, okay? So it's that mindset, you know, did I marry this person because I love the person, because I think we have a future together, we can do life together, there's a purpose for us coming together? Or is it for me strictly transactional? And if we're being honest and calling a spade, I'm not an agricultural instrument, you'll agree that there's marriages that are transactional. You know, so from the get-go, ab initio, the woman knew I'm marrying this because he has so much money. So of course, for that kind of person, you know, when things go along and the man falls on hard times, or, you know, he's not just as loaded as he used to be, then for her, there's no reason why she should stay. There's no reason why she should cut him some slack. There's no reason why she should step up and help him, because she knew why she married him in the first place. So I think it starts from why you married and ensuring that you married the right person ab initio from the get-go. I want to do life with this person. And if you're doing life with this person and you love the person, or there's a reason why you're together, then it is a partnership. Okay, marriage is meant to be a partnership. It's not about the man providing and the woman just being that receptacle for bringing the children forward, or for cooking, or making the house hospitable for him. Mbano, you know, there should be that agreement from the very beginning. What are we doing? What are your thoughts? What are your plans? What's your vision for your life? 5 years, 10 years from now. Have those conversations from the get-go before you even get married. And the key conversation that you ought to also have is about money. What's your view on money? How do you handle money? Are you a saver or are you a spender? Will we do joint accounts, or will everybody hold their own money? And if yes, I believe that your money is our money and my money is my money, is that okay with you? So from the very beginning, there has to be that understanding. But from my Christian point of view and where I stand, when you commit to doing life with a man and you say, if your wedding vows, for most people, the wedding vows are the same. Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. I will stand with you in sickness and in health, in richness and in poor, for till death do us part, right? So most of these marriage vows have it. It differs from church to church, but essentially it says the same thing. So you committed on that day to saying, I'm marrying you and I'll be with you through thick and thin, come rain, come shine. So no matter the turbulence, no matter what happens, the expectation is that you would stand with him. He had money and now he doesn't. Okay, you were there when he had money. I did when I chop them together, right? But now he doesn't. If you have, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you stepping up and filling in the gap. He won't remain there. You must support. You must, and you're doing this together. You probably have children, you know, so you can't say, oh no, it's his responsibility. And so even if I have the money, I'm only borrowing him. It is our money. It should be joined. What I have is yours. What you have is mine. I agree that some men, you know, sometimes can go overboard or become deadbeat dads or become loafers because the woman is now stepping up. But where that isn't the case, every woman should be able to stand beside her man and be able to assist when the rough times come. It will flip soon. He might be the one back in the money. If you treated him shabbily when he didn't have money, how do you expect him to treat you when the money comes again? You know, so I think it's from that beginning, is how you build the foundation from the marriage is what will determine how the woman treats the man or how she steps up or doesn't, you know, when this situation arises where he now doesn't have money and she has to do that. But for the woman, I'll also say, you know, do everything you do with grace. You know, I mean, the fact that it's you now bringing in the heavy money at this time or having that great job while he's down on his luck, it's only also a matter of time. That could change. But that's why the Bible says you're a helpmate. You're a helpmeet for him. You're supposed to help him at a time like that, even as he is supposed to help you when that time comes. So, you know, in a nutshell, and not to drag it out for too long, I'll just say that you just have to get that marriage right from the beginning. And if you're already married and this is the situation you found yourself in, is to sit back, look back, have the conversations. And that's why communication is critical in marriage. Say it as it is. Got our dirty, yes, got our dirty, but let's talk about it, you know? No matter how mundane it seemingly is, the pimple on your nose, do we need to talk about it? Yes. Communicate, say it all. Don't, you know, put things under the carpet until this little molehill becomes a mountain and it can blow it apart, or like you said, cause marriages to be, you know, unfortunately go down the drain and they're living separate lives in different locations. There's nothing that by the grace of God can be worked out. It depends on the commitment of the two people. And I say this all the time, every marriage that failed had a chance to succeed. And every marriage that succeeded had a chance to fail. It came down to the determination of the two people who said, you know what, I made this promise to you. I love you like Kilode, and we're going to work this out. And they commit to it and they do what needs to be done. It might be tough. It might involve counseling, professional counseling. It might involve, just cutting down on some fat, trimming some expectations, but just having that conversation. I say it all the time. When I hear that couples say they have irreconcilable differences, I'm like, what is
irreconcilable people?
What is so bad that you can't sit down and talk about and discuss and find a solution or an answer to? This is my view. Forgive me if I seem naive to some people, but honestly, I believe that by the grace of God, you can always work things out. But in that one of not supporting the man or not supporting the woman because she's down on her luck or because Nami Hama, I hold the money right now, you do yourself a disservice. It won't help your marriage. It won't even help you as an individual. So let's come together. It's a partnership. You bring your A game on, I bring mine on, and together we'll be able to help our family and our marriage move to the next level. These are my thoughts, sir.
Wow. There are no irreconcilable difference, only irreconcilable people.
I like how you put it.
Yes, Dami, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, BMJ. A lot has been said already, but I just want to chip in a few more things. I think the issue of women believing that the man should take every load, I think it's largely because we were, and I use the word were, a patriarchal society. Not necessarily that it's no longer that way, but it has been largely diluted. I wouldn't say we are predominantly a patriarchal society anymore, but that mindset of the man is the head, the man, and that's why you had way back then, you had the men accumulating wealth by marrying a lot of wives, having a lot of children, because this was how they could exert their own influence in the society. How this was how men's success were being measured. And we descended from that history, to where we are today. So for people who still find themselves in an environment where that is largely the mindset, even with a lot of dilution, they still carry on with that. Also, a lot of times we are shaped by our environment, we are shaped by the people around us. If you grew up in a family or in an environment where some things were done in a certain way and you felt that someone was shortchanged, you begin to inadvertently build a defense, for yourself. So if you grew up in a home where the woman put down a lot, contributed a lot, and then she was shortchanged, maybe she got dumped or another wife came in and one thing or the other, if that is the environment you grew up, you would likely have, been corrupted with the thinking that, hey, this shouldn't happen to me, so let me guard against that. But having said all of that, it's important that you as an individual, and I'm speaking to the women especially on this call now, who are you? What is your purpose? So at the point when you were going to school, when you were developing yourself, it was to what end exactly? So because you go to school, you build a profession, you are in the same class with your male counterparts, and then you both leave school together, and maybe for some reason you are engaged to someone who was in your class, a guy. You left school together, your CVs are very similar, you get the same kind of job, maybe, you earn the same kind of income, and then suddenly you expect that he should be the one doing better. It's funny that that's how some of us think. But I believe if we go back to purpose, why you go school first in the first instance? Why what are you trying to make out of your own life? Are you doing all of that just so that you can sit and then watch someone carry all of that load? So why did you even bother? You might as well not even just bothered, and then just know that your own wealth creation plan is to marry rich, and then, hopefully Dr. Olumide says it's not sexually transmitted, but perhaps it can be maritally infused or something. So I think my point is that understand who you are, understand purpose. What problems are you here to solve? What role are you playing in your family? If you have that understanding, when there's a need, when there are gaps, you don't need anyone to preach to you. You would ordinarily understand that you have to step in to fill those gaps. Let me quickly also add that sometimes too, when people hold back or when they express this sort of thinking, it's because they've also seen people who maybe placed their own lives on a hold in the name of forging the overall interest of a spouse or of a family. So I've seen women who have suspended their own growth, their own progress, and their interpretation of a virtuous woman, of a committed wife, is someone who suspends her own growth and who is supporting her husband. You stop working. Yes, we have to build the family. You start taking care of the children. Deep down within you, you have desires. You want to go for your masters. You want to do this. All of the pictures and the dreams of that you had about yourself, you've had to pen it because of family. And you now then end up being bitter. You end up holding those people who probably didn't even ask for those sacrifices, but you made them. You hold them responsible, for your seeming failure. And then these are the sort of people who influence others around them. And then when such a person is speaking to the younger person around her, she says, men are wicked, men are this, you will sacrifice and labor and you have nothing to show. They are speaking from a place of hurt. So I go back to what BMG said. Communicate. If you both desire good things and one person has to hold on for another, let all of those conversations happen. But don't think that you are jeopardizing your life by throwing in your weight when your family needs it. Because at the end of the day, you are both beneficiaries of the progress that the family makes at the end of the day. And if it goes otherwise, you would also both suffer the consequence. Thank you.
Wow. Well if said. You are listening to them, imagine what this book is going to be like. Only 2 of them are just talking and there are 16 other contributors. Hey, my God. These 2 numbers, copy those 2 numbers. Oh, you will need them in 2024. These 2 phone numbers and that website. It is going to be very important for your 2024. So get ready for this book. So let's begin to go towards the end of about, let's zero into this book now. How to create wealth as a career person, the entrepreneur's guide to the wealthy place. So you guys contributed to this book, and I want us to wrap up by looking into your contribution. So for you, Binta, I want you to answer the question of why is it difficult for career people to create wealth? Why do people go through career, they earn well? I would like to also focus more on women. They want to buy like you say, there's nothing wrong in looking nice and the soft life, but have the money, have soft money for the soft life. Not that you are borrowing, collecting money from cooperative, you are wearing Bow Street, buying designer bag, plot of land you don't have, shares you don't have. So I wanted to talk about why is it difficult for a lot of career people, especially career women, to create wealth. Then Dami, I wanted to talk about mistakes. One of the things we spoke about is what are the mistakes you have made. So for you, I would like you to answer the question of what are the mistakes you have noticed that women make when it comes to wealth creation, so that we can give them some tips about what we have in the book. So Binta, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. Why is it difficult, or, is it doable? I would say difficult, no, and it shouldn't be at all. If from the get-go you say to yourself, this is what I want, it all starts with intentionality. It all starts with what you want out of life. It starts with that mindset. You have that wealthy mindset to say, you know what, this is what I want money for. I remember reading something, and I think I alluded to it in the book as well, where Ude Kotak, in high school, you know, in class one day, they said, what do you want to become when you grow up? And the young man said, so he must have been, what, 16, 17? This was high school. And he says, oh, I'm going to become a billionaire because I want to be able to marry a good wife. I want to have money for this. I will have 365 cars. I mean, he just spewed out some ridiculous thing, you know. And then the person said, come on, sit down. We're not talking about a dream list, you know. And then they asked the lady and they said, you lady, what would you want to be? He said, well, I would want to become Ude Kotak's wife. Let Ude do the work, and when he becomes rich, and I'll marry him. But guess what? Fast forward the 3 decades later, and she's married to him. And Ude Kotak is today one of India's wealthiest men, okay? Now, he knew what he wanted ab initio. He verbalized it, he spoke it forth, and he did the hard work to make it happen, okay? So in the same way, whether you're working in a startup, in an established firm, or, you know, a Nifty 40 quoted on the stock exchange company, what is it you want to do with money? What is your mindset about it? Do you want to have wealth? Why do you want to have wealth? Once you've identified and determined, clarified that money vision for your life, or that wealth vision. For me, it's financial freedom. For instance, I'll use myself as an example. I just wanted that financial freedom to be able to afford the things that I want when I want it, without undue stress, without borrowing, like you said, or going to the cooperative and all of that. There are times when borrowing is good. I hope I get the chance to come back to that, but only if you're using it for investment purposes and it will generate income, or there will be a good return and ROI on it that will make sense, okay? But just simple answer to your question, can you save money? Can you create wealth even as an employee? Yes, you can. You'll be intentional from the beginning. Know why you want to create wealth, what you're going to put it to, and how to start. How to start, the bedrock for everyone will be savings. If you're blessed and uncle dies and he, you know, leaves a big quest for you of some millions, you don't hammer, thank God for your life. But generally, majority of people start by saving. And if you can't save when you're earning 5 or 10,000, Dr. Emmanuel, you won't be able to save when you're earning millions. It's that consistency and that discipline. So everyone save from the get-go, from the little that you earn, no matter how little it seems, and just continue. If you invest it properly, the power of compounding comes into play. And as it's compounded, it continues to grow. Then you can deploy those funds to bigger and better investments. The ROI gets even bigger and better. And then you go into property. That's a personal favorite of mine. Or you go, you know, and you go into, you know, and just continue to multiply and grow that way. But know that it's a fallacy that because you're an employee, or you're not an entrepreneur, or you didn't hammer with one contract, that you can't save. Start small. Start with intentionality and clarity. Know where you're going to invest. Don't take undue risk. You know, those ones where they come. I'm not talking MMMO, where the interest that you're supposed to get will be 4 times. Like they say, if it sounds too good to be true, it really is. Take your money and run in the opposite direction. But find those investments that are true, and invest and just continue to grow. Delay gratification. You mustn't have it now. This soft life, Dr. Emmanuel, I'm 51. It didn't happen overnight. When I was 20, when I was 25, I wasn't buying all the Ashwebis and all of that, because I knew that I needed the money for something more significant down the line. So sparingly Ashwebi, until I got to the point where I could chest it and say, you know what, I'm not doing Ashwebi again. Call color. If they call the color, I wouldn't even wear traditional. I'll wear English and put a fascinator in that color. It won't be that I didn't show up. Abi, is that what I hear? You know, so you then determine what you need to cut off, what is important, what is urgent, and say, you know what, I won't buy this Ashwebi now. But that 50K or 100K or 70, I hear Ashwebi these days is the even $1,000 one. So, Dr. Emmanuel, so I hope someone who was planning to do Ashwebi of 1,000 will have heard your announcement today and will register instead for this, global masterclass, because it will be much more beneficial to them, But so there's Ashwebi for that. I mean, does it make sense to take $1,000 into your loan and go and buy Ashwebi that you probably wear once? Because that's the problem with those Ashwebis, because everybody will say, that was Lagbaja's wedding. You can't wear it more than once to any major function. So $1,000 will sit in your box. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So deferred gratification. But when I have $20 million, of course, $1,000 for Ashwebi is no biggie, right? But until I get to that point, I always just also do something. If I spend this money, I just do that deep stake analysis. If I spend this money for this, what's left? And then I look at the percentage. And if what's left is not much, then that expense isn't necessary. What's most important is what's left for investments afterwards. So again, just trying to keep it short, save, be clear about the investment options you've got, invest, grow it, multiply it, let the power of compounding work for you, defer gratification where necessary, and just but from the get-go, have that wealthy mindset and that clear money vision, that wealth vision. I want to live in Banana Island. The people who live in Banana Island don't have 3 heads. They don't have 2 legs.
They don't get green blood.
Correct. So if they can, I can do it too. But how did they get there? How much do I need? I have that number in my head. I know how to get it legitimately, and you begin to work towards it. So it's all of those things. But yes, no matter where you work, no matter how much you earn, start small, build upon it, and you can create wealth that will last. I know many technocrats, and I say this with every sense of responsibility, because you even read their interviews. Dr. Gamaliel Onosode, that gentleman, Sir Christopher Collade, there are people like that who earned their money. Chief Oshukeye, these were titans. These people walked their way up the ladder. I have a great deal of respect for them, and they went through. Those people can be said to be poor today, but none of them were entrepreneurs in the sense that they started businesses. None of them did buying and selling. They were corporate, like from the beginning all the way, from the stories that we see out there. But they're comfortable. They made wealth, And so I think anyone can aspire to create wealth, with just having just the basic, principles that will guide them as they go along. And I'd better keep quiet now so that
yes, that is amazing. I hope you guys are taking note because these are every stuff being downloaded here. So Dami, mistakes.
Okay, mistakes that women make when it comes to wealth creation. Over the course of my career as a financial planner, because I do a lot of advisory, individuals, families, institutions, I have seen that women, to a very large extent, naturally take the back seat when it comes to money decisions. And I think it's because maybe not totally, but one of the reasons why this happens is that we believe that we will become proud, or it's a false sense of humility, deferring certain things that shouldn't be deferred to the spouse, for example, to the husband. So when I say women take a back seat, I mean you have a family, you have money issues, you are putting money together as a family, executing projects, doing one thing or the other, and as a woman you cannot speak to certain things that you are doing jointly as a family, as a couple. So suddenly the man is incapacitated or he passes on, and then you find the woman who was a significant contributor to whatever it was they were doing in terms of the absolute cash, not being able to speak to some of the decisions made, not knowing where certain documents are. I think it's just generally that, let me not appear like I'm struggling with this man, or I'm competing with him. Let it not appear like I'm not the humble, submissive wife. It's important that as women we learn that balance. Taking the back seat is not the best thing to do. If you are jointly doing certain things, it's important that you know what you're doing. Nothing upsets me more than, when you hear a fully educated woman, saying things like, I don't even know. I don't know what is, it grieves my heart, because I have seen families suffer consequences, because such a thing has happened. I also know that a lot of times, as women, when we fail, we run away from that failure, and we don't come back. So I've seen it happen with money decisions. So I remember in the early 2006, 7, 8, when the stock market was booming, we had men, women participating, and a lot of people got burnt because so many things happened. People were not investing with knowledge and all of that. I can say I don't have the exact statistics, but I know of a certainty that a lot more men have returned to the market than their women counterparts, because I don't know if it is our emotions, I don't know what it is. We tend to hold on to how we have failed. We beat ourselves over and over again, and we don't just go back there and face our challenges. Something else that I've also observed with women is that we are not aggressive when it comes to applying ourselves to knowledge. And I said it, I'm being careful saying this. So there are a lot of women out there who are doing fantastically well in their chosen fields of endeavor. But when it comes to things that they don't know, I've seen them shy away. I'm speaking at a cluster meeting. I'm speaking to women, and you find when it comes to asking questions, the women ask the questions about, okay, so how can I make money? How can I manage my money? Okay, how do I write my will? They ask those questions. But when it comes to them now maybe doing a bit of homework, you now then give them, okay, you now need to do this, read this, and execute. You find them saying things like, okay, my husband will do it. He's the one that fills the forms, or he's the one that he will ask you all the other questions. Why can't you take it upon yourself, to understand what it is that is important to you, pay the price to, I don't know, maybe because I'm in finances, maybe I think it is easy. Please, I would love to have that feedback. It's not rocket science, Another thing like quickly mention, is we pass on certain mentality to the girl child, and we're not even very aware. So you have children, male and female, and inadvertently you are teaching them some things, without even realizing it. When you're cooking, when you're doing stuff, you get girl child more involved. Then when it comes to more cerebral things, you are putting a lot more pressure on the boy. What exactly are we trying to say? I mean, we don't realize that we're actually telling that girl child that, don't worry, know all of these things, and then find a good man. And then marriage will be your plan B, because even if you fail at this, maybe you will marry. We don't realize we are doing it, but it happens a lot. So it's important that as women, we are conscious of some of these things. And, we also find ourselves inadvertently planning, without even being conscious of it, that we are banking on our children as our retirement plan. So you find women who are saying things like, I'm going to be available to take care of my children's, my grandchildren. I'm going to be this. I know my children will take care of me. You hardly find the man saying that. Again, it is so, this mindset, there are things that we need to be conscious of. And I'm really glad that about this book. I know this book has addressed a lot of all these things. We need to be very, very intentional about what we do. Remember, I said earlier that we are shaped by our environment. Our environment shapes our mindset, and that ultimately gives us the outcomes that we have. So how are we influencing the women, the girls, the children in our own environment with some of the ways that we think. I'll just round this up by saying that mentality that we typically have of you only live once. I know BMG referred to it earlier, but I just want to emphasize it. It's very easy for women to get carried away with what their colleagues are doing, what their friends are doing. You know, it's easier than the men. Maybe because we are more subject to leaning towards vanities. I don't know. But if you have a dream, if you have a purpose, if you have defined your life goals, it will help you to stay on track. Pressures will come, but you would always remember that you are heading somewhere, that you are working towards your financial freedom. This is the goal. And if I have to hit that goal, I must stay the course. So it's important that that we remember that, and we have the right set of people around us, people with that same mentality, that same mindset, so that we can, you know, iron can sharpen iron, and we can achieve our goals collectively. Thank you.
Wow. Amazing. Well, let's begin to wrap up. Now, if you are listening to us, we're wrapping it up now. This is my latest book. It's called How to Create Wealth as a Career Person, the Intrapreneur's Guide to the Wealthy Place. It's a massive book of a little over 500 pages. And one unique thing about this book is I have 16 other contributors in a chapter called The Chronicles, where I share the platform with all these amazing people. 2 of them have been speaking with me in the last 1 hour plus, and you're going to be seeing their beautiful pictures, seeing their profile, and they're going to be hearing in their own words a lot of things that will really be a tremendous blessing to you. So 3 meetings that you need to consider within the next 60 days. Wednesday, the 3rd of January, we're having the Global School of Money Summit. It's absolutely free. Venue is the Railboat Multipurpose Hall in Idimu, Lagos, Nigeria. And that's where we're going to be releasing this book. The official launch of the book will be coming up on the 3rd of January. So from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., 4 hours, I'm going to be taking us on a journey. I'm going to be handling 3 sessions just to help equip and position you to win in 2024. 2024 is a leap year. Leap year comes every 4 years. So there's an opportunity for you to have a quantum leap and for you to have a giant leap. So we want to help position you for that. The second meeting is from Monday the 22nd to Saturday the 27th of January for 6 days. I'm being joined by a host of other amazing facilitators, and we're going to be helping you to become and to grow your entrepreneurial journey. So how to start and grow your own business. So it's an entrepreneurship academy where we deal with all kinds of amazing modules, legal structures and system, marketing, all kinds of stuff. It's an amazing, we've raised hundreds of entrepreneurs, if not thousands, since 2012 when we started doing this. And what we want to try to do is to see how we can help at least 1,000 people. And we're putting it in January so that we can start the year, hit the ground running. So all we're asking is just bring 15,000 naira and register. And the purpose of that is just to know how many people are coming so that we can know what to plan for and to be sure that you're a serious-minded person. Because if we make it free, we're not going to know how many people are coming, so we'll not be able to plan, and we'll not know who is serious. So because 15,000 is nothing with this economy, you know that already. There's going to be refreshment every day. 15,000 cannot even take care of this for, for 1 week. So you know that we just want to see how we can help people. And then there's going to be opportunities for you to experience microfinance and then grants that will help you in your business as an SME. So go to the website right now and register, or call those numbers and register and be a part of it. The third one is the Billionaires Conclave Summit 2024. The summit comes up once a year. The edition for Nigeria is coming up on the 1st and the 2nd of March at Marriott Hotel GRA. That's what we've used for the past 4 years. So every year we're at Marriott. So we're doing it again this year, 1st and 2nd of March, and it's $2,000. 2 nights hotels, fully residential, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, conference materials, amazing, amazing stuff. But we're doing a 50% discount right now that will expire on the 10th of January. And our exchange rate is 900 Naira to $1. So call the office and take advantage of that. So if you go to the website, there's an evening session, Kingdom World Summit with myself and Joshua Selman. And we're also going to be releasing this book during that event. So go to the website and register for any of these events. So in closing, both of you have been part of my seminars before. You've been part of my book. You've been part. So Binta, you were there in Seychelles, and you are a School of Money graduate. So, so I want the final word now will be, I wanted to talk about the importance of, just from your own experience, being in an Olumide Emmanuel event, and then reading an Olumide Emmanuel book, and then use that to talk to people so that they will see the need for them to get this book and to be in the events I've spoken about. So from your own personal experiences, that will be your final word. Yeah. So Binta, let's start with you.
Thank you again, Dr. Emmanuel. And yes, that's Seychelles. I left there like literally walking on air. It was the first time I had encountered you. And with Dr. Emmanuel, it's always an encounter. You know, you don't just meet him, you encounter him. He's like that force, you know, and he just comes into that space. And I heard things I hadn't heard for a very long while that I didn't even know. And here I was, I had been a banker, been in banking and financial services for what, maybe close to 30 years as at that time. But you opened our eyes to so many things. It was unbelievable. I remember, I think I bought all your books. I bought all the CDs. It wasn't a CD, you had a bracelet, and that was a funky thing as well. It was the first time I was seeing it. There was sort of like a bracelet where you had, you know, everything in a drive and all of that. I still have it. And, you know, and I had to buy all of it because I just wanted to take it and go and sit and download. And with the Dr. Emmanuel conference or class or even a book, you don't get it all at once, right? So you've got to go back and back. The nuggets are fresh, they're always relevant, and you need to read it again or listen to it again and just, you know, take all the important, very important lessons. The one thing I also enjoy about, you know, sitting under your administration or your class or your teaching is that your nuggets are practicable and relatable. So I take it and I walk out the door and I can implement and execute immediately. It's not some highfalutin theoretical thing. You're not speaking big English to impress. You know, you break it down for us. Anyone can grasp it and can work with it and get results. You know, they're that practical, they're that relevant, they're that useful. And I want to say on behalf of anyone who you've ever impacted, thank you for the gift that you are to the world. Thank you for not hiding your light under a bushel, because some people have the knowledge but don't share it like you do. And you're generous with it as well. 50% discount, that's major. You know, some people won't give that much, but you're also generous and just trying to help people. So I'll just say to anyone listening, if you do one thing for yourself for 2024, he mentioned it's a leap year. If truly you want to achieve that quantum leap, you need that masterclass. You need to get this book and read from what, 18 people who have been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and are speaking from a place of experience. It was my husband who said, you know, they say experience is the best teacher. And he said to me many years ago, no, I don't have to experience it. Let me learn from the people who have experienced it. They've made the mistake, they've suffered it. I don't have to go through that process, okay? So you've got the experience of 18 people who have written in this book. You can take a cue as well and not make the same mistakes that many of us made, you know, growing up or climbing the ladder. So I urge you, don't waste any more time. Grab your copy now. Hit that website and register immediately now. Hit those numbers and make sure you give him a call. Give them a call now. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, my sister. Amazing. So, Dami, talk to us as we close. Yeah.
Okay, so I am. I've been a student. I think I'm more of a lifelong student under Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. You know, I have the privilege of being his spiritual daughter. He's my mentor. He's my, so it's it's been how many years now? 2005 till now. That's about 20,
Yes.
18 years plus, you know, and I tell you, so Dr. Olumide is one person that you will hear the truth from. And if there's something missing from a lot of the information out there, it is the hardcore truth. So you have a lot of half-cooked information, you have half-truths, you have people massaging copies and all, massaging egos and all of that, but you won't get that with Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. So if you don't like to hear the truth, you may want to stay away. Because if you talk the truth, you feel vexed. But the honest truth is that if only you can just open your mind. So and you know this popular saying about follow person with no road.
Absolutely.
If someone is tested and trusted, there's a lot of wisdom in following. He has walked the path. He would share his mistakes, he would share his successes, he would even show you how to. So Dr. Olumide is one person that gets the secret to doing something, and the first thing he's doing is to call people around to say, guys, this is how they do it. You know, you don't find that happening, and this is just the absolute truth. So it's important that you call the numbers, you go on the website. The books, I think the books will be launched 3rd of January. I see people asking where can they get the books and all of that. It will be launched 3rd of January, but I think they can pre-order. It's important that you don't procrastinate on this. Take that decision now. 2024 has actually started, if you know what I mean. So the decisions that you are taking right about now are the things that will shape the outcome of your 2024. So you don't have to wait until we shout Happy New Year before you think that 2024 starts. So take that decision. Grab copies of his books. He has other excellent books that you would find details of on his website. Please buy. Register for his programs. He doesn't just come to those meetings. He also brings people with a lot of knowledge. I mean, I'm not sure I've come across any book that has 16 contributors. And when I wrote back to him to say, sir, how many pages, any guide? He said, no, feel free. And I'm like, wow. So he gave each contributor that liberty. So I can only just imagine what is packed in that book. So please take the decision now. Do what you need to do. Call, reach out, and then just start your leap year, you know, making those decisions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So people are asking now, this book, we have the soft copy and we have the hard copy, but we are releasing the soft copy in Nigeria, the hard copy internationally. So this soft copy is 20,000 naira and the hard copy is 30,000 naira, but we are not releasing the hard copy in Nigeria yet until I'm back from my tour. I'm going on a global tour in March and April. So when I come back in May, we will release the hard copy in Nigeria in May. But this is the one we are releasing in Nigeria now. It's the soft copy and it's 20,000 naira. And if you're outside Nigeria, in the UK, it's 30 pounds. In the US and Canada, it's $50. And then if you need it, just call those numbers, go to the website, register, pre-order, or you call those numbers and send your details to them. I want this book. They will get back to you. We can deliver to you and they will tell you how to get it. So I look forward to seeing every one of you in any of the events. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Go to my YouTube channel, loads of free content for you. And I'm going to be saving this video now so that you can watch it over and over again. And then next week on the 26th, we'll start another series from the 26th to the 30th. I'm bringing some other contributors in the book and we'll do a foretaste and we'll do a global online launch. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. And the book is going global, so all of us are going global together. So God bless you all.
Thank you.
Bye for now. Thanks for joining me. Thank you.
Bye, VMG.
Bye.
So thank you, everyone. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Go to my YouTube channel, get content, copy those numbers on the screen, and make sure that you get the information. These 2 phone numbers, you will need it. So any question you have, those 2 phone numbers are your link to the answers that you need. And we're going to go on break for another 1 week. Then by the 26th, during the holiday period, because this week now, a lot of people are still trying to wrap up work. So in the holiday period from the 26th, every day, 8 p.m., I'm going to be bringing 2 other speakers, 26, 27, 28. So on the 26th, I'm going to have Femi Adekule and Tayo Olatuji. On the 27th, I'm going to have Kingsley Okonkwo. On the 28th, I'm going to have Courage. So we're going to have a lot of people just joining me 2 every day. So don't miss any of those events. And God bless you. So have a wonderful time. Be in church tomorrow and go be empowered. God bless you all.